And the Giants send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's taken to the 26. Gets by him at the 25. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
He sets to fire deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The numbers for Njoku from a week ago: 3 catches, 107 yards.
And that touchdown was his first of the year, and you know he's eager to get more of those.
This is Elliott, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Evans has it left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's got Evans. But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Play clock winding down. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And that'll bring up second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And he is knocked down from the side. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. Open man right side is Ingram. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Bernard. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle.
And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans.
Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, you're a former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off. So you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of players. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20, 10, 5, and he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, Bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Cowboys. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. First down, Wilson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Play action. Now Wilson. A swing pass caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
That's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, Let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This is fielded a couple yards deep. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. And before we could even hear from Larry, we're back and ready to go in Week 5. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Wilson. And incomplete. Probably should have had that one, but with the game he's having tonight, maybe they'll let it go.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. David Njoku, his second touch. Cowboys will extend their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone.
Move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He has been on his A game. We're in the 3rd quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for me to take my eyes off of him, even when he's not on the field. I keep finding my eyes finding him on the bench in between series, wondering what he's going to do next. This has been a blast to watch him play the position.
He's been spectacular with those 4 touchdown passes. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On second down, Elliott. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. From the gun on third down, Wilson. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. On first down, it's Gurley. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. And quickly, they get to the line. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. On first and goal, Gurley. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Now Wilson. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
And this offense on third down today, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a third and goal here. Throwing is Wilson. Eluding under pressure again, and down he goes again.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on second and goal, a sack on third and goal. Now brings up a decision on fourth down.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll run again with Bernard. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Giants on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Breeze. He drops it off for Bernard. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On first down, Breeze. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And Ingram holds it in. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now a carry for Bernard. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And his kick here is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
This will be fielded at the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? Let's flip that switch.
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're in the NFL too for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they didn't get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Wilson wants to throw it. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. To throw is Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And it's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And this one is right through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And this looks to probably be the final play. One final try here for Breeze. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great